Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Laura Keisha Jenggana Sution from 11 VCD2 and this is
Hello, I am Restiani Agustin from 10 Accounting 1 and we are from SMKN 1 Garut.
Today, on this occasion, we are going to discuss about mental health awareness as a mandatory subject based on our research and perspective. Resti will be on the government side and I will be on the opposition side.
When we discuss about mental health awareness, we can ignore the negative impact on social media on teenagers. And one of the biggest negative impact on social media is that social media actually desired to make us addictive as possible. And one of the facts that have been surprising me a lot is that when we addictive on social media, it actually has the same effect as we addictive on cocaine or alcohol, because there's spiked dopamine in our brain. Now just look around us, in school environment for example. Almost everyone in school is using social media all the time. They're doing trends or just scrolling. And what's the burning issue here? Consciously or unconsciously, it can make them less satisfaction, anxiety, and low self-esteem. So I believe if school make mental health awareness as a mandatory subject in school, it can help students better at using social media and utilize social media much better and manage their time much better to using social media.
I will respond to your statement. I don't deny that mental health issues among teenagers are important. In fact, I agree that social media have a huge impact on our life. However, that doesn't mean the proposed solution is effective. Turning this into a mandatory subject in school can make students more overwhelmed, not more aware. With already packed schedules, national exams, and academic pressures, students may see this as just a test, not just something they can actually reflect. Instead of solving the problems, it becomes part of the stress.
Well, we have a growing amount of researchers which tells us that if you spend a large portion of your day in a state of fragment attention, so a large portion of your day, we are constantly breaking up your attention to take a quick glance or just check them, just quick look at Instagram, and it can permanently reduce our capacity for concentrations. And I'm especially worried about this when we look at generation coming up, which is the most saturated day on social media. So it's just useless if we focus on core lesson in school, but we can't permanently focus on it.
Let me ask you something. Can school realistically give those tools in the current system? According to a 2022 report from Ministry of Education and Cultures of Indonesia, only one counselor available for 500 plus students, and most teachers never achieve mental health training. If this subject is rushed and poorly taught, it can backfire us, causing stigma, confusion, and even worse, emotional triggers. A lesson about suicide prevention, if not done properly, can actually misrepresent it. WHO themselves warn about the danger of untrained mental health intervention.
This is a good point. Unfortunately, you don't realize that we are being programmed. Social media desire to make us addictive and to fragment our attention as much as possible. Because there's spiked dopamine in our brain, which means when we using social media, we will feel glad when using it. And beside on that, let me just remind you, some of the researchers from Wall Street Journal reported on this. Company researchers found that Instagram is harmful for a sizable percentage of teenagers, most notably teenage girls. If these big companies are intentionally creating products that can damage our young mental health, then I confess school have a huge responsibility to equip students with self-defense tools. This is all about how school can help students become stronger and equipped getting trapped in social media, anxiety, depression, bullies, or rejection.
But these are not skills you can standardize in a textbook or a test in a midterm. Emotional intelligence is built through relationship, safe environment, and trust, not through scores. This is supported by a study from Stanford University, which found that empathy and self-regulation are better developed through project-based learning, role play, and real conversation, not a rigid classroom lesson. I propose this skill be integrated into existing subjects or delivered through extracurricular programs.
Okay. World Health Organization claimed that every 40 seconds someone's died by social worldwide. And big company, for example, Meta company who created Instagram product, also claimed for themselves that they said, "We make life worse for one of three teen girls." They themselves admit that product is killing people. Their product is increasing anxiety and depression.
But I must again, what saves life? Is it a textbook? Or a trusted adult? A safe school environment? A trained counselor? Instead of turning mental health into another academic requirement, we must invest in more school counselor, stronger teacher training, partnership with psychologists, and peer-led programs and campaigns. These solutions don't just inform, they are protect.
Absolutely. You mean you are completely agree with me? Because you just said we need more counselor teacher in school. If there are counselor teacher in school, if counselor teacher is available at school, then mental health awareness will be the mandatory subject in school, right?
However, not all students experience emotion the same way. Some come from stable homes, others from abusive environment. Some are extroverts, others are silent sufferers. Forcing every into one fixed syllabus may cause more harm than help, especially for students with trauma who feel unsafe sharing in public. Mental health education needs to be flexible, adaptive, and sensitive, not standardized. Lastly, you don't build awareness through whiteboards, you build it through trust. A Yale University study showed that school culture has greater impact on student well-being. So what we need is healthier school environment, not a heavier class schedule.
Well, we're having a growing amount of research which just tells us that if you spend a large portion of your day using social media, it can permanently reduce our capacity for concentrations. And if suicide is the third leading cause of death of ages 10 to 24, and Harvard University study suggests the biggest predictor for success is self-control and emotional health. So what's the logic reason for this? Why school does need to teach how to handle stress, bullies or rejection? How about anxiety and depressions? The skills that we need for our entire lives.
In conclusion, that we need is not is not adding more mandatory subject, but a healthier school environment that can help the students and everyone feel safe together.
That's a good point.
That is all
That's
from
all
us.
Thank you for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.